Welcome, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning into another episode of We Can Fight Like Cats If We Have to. More specifically, sorry, a monologue by We Can Fight Like Cats If We Have to. My name is Saly Davis, co-founder of We Can Fight Like Cats If We Have to. A reminder that our content is not meant to be comfortable. It is meant to be uncomfortable. It is meant to be forthcoming, straightforward, and unapologetic. And that is our mandate. That is what we do here at We Can Fight Like Cats If We Have to. We are honest about the situations that occur. And we are not gentle about it. Why? Because no one has been gentle with us. As people of color, as visible minorities, as marginalized minorities, as racialized minorities. So I'm sure you can relate if you are a visible minority and have experienced racialization. I've also been told that some of our listeners are suffering from disabilities, either visible or invisible disabilities, and they seem to feel quite similarly that they are targeted because of these disabilities. And some of our listeners are a combination of both. They are people who are racialized, who also suffer from disabilities, and they really relate to the experiences that we talk about on these episodes. And with that, I want to go into, a very serious situation that occurred. Today is the 1-year anniversary of Joyce Echaquan's murder. Joyce, may your spirit rest in peace. May your family find closure and resolution. And I'll tell you that what we are doing as a nation, what Quebec is doing as a province, and what the healthcare in Quebec is doing is not giving them closure or resolution. Their solution is to continue to deny that there is systematic racism in Quebec and to simply do something called sensitivity training with the staff. Now, my problem is very, very specific here. We are accomplishing nothing by doing both of those things. Furthermore, the issue isn't the lack of sensitivity, it's oversensitivity. All these white privileged and white supremacist individuals aren't attacking us, aren't being rude, aren't being horrible, aren't being monsters, aren't forcing us to fight because they're insensitive. All the contrary, they're actually quite sensitive. They feel threatened. They feel that their superiority is threatened. They feel that their status of power, their authoritarian, positions are being questioned, as they should be, because you do not deserve that authority. You do not deserve that privilege. You have abused it for generations upon generations. And given the choice, you continue to choose to abuse. Now, I'm not saying all white people are abusive. I'm saying all white privileged people are abusive. This woman lost her life on live stream to people calling her a whore, to people telling her her body is no good for anything except sex. There is no dignity in dying like that. But more importantly, there is no dignity in living like that. If that is how we are living, like, can you imagine, dear white people, can you imagine hearing your daughter going for a medical appointment and then witnessing her live dying violently due to neglect? It's really mind-boggling to me. And then this whole argument that, well, we're not racist. We're not racist. We're not racist. Dear white people, being racist does not need your stamp and seal. It does not need you to recognize that you are racist. It does not need your recognition. If a person of color is telling you that you are being or doing something racist, then you are both being and doing something racist. You do not get to choose what your actions represent. You do not get to choose to belittle your actions based on quote unquote your intentions and negate the fact that subconsciously or consciously and intentionally, you are being racist. I'm going to jump from Joyce Echaquan right now to a situation that just happened in Moncton, New Brunswick. No stress movers. They recently did a nasty attack on what is now currently called Paul and Akeem Moving because No Stress Movers went and registered the name on purpose and told the Black-owned business of Paul and Akeem Moving that he now owned them. Dear white women, let me give you an example. You're at work minding your own damn business, doing the best that you can. And your boss walks in and gives you a pair of pants and says, this is your new uniform. I want you to wear this because your butt looks damn good in it. Is that sexual harassment? I would say yes. And so would 90% of women. And if that is a general consensus, then that was sexual harassment or inappropriate sexual misconduct. In this particular case, the fact that No Stress Movers was willing to target Akeem and Paul when there are literally well over 80 moving businesses in Moncton, blame them for all the losses that they have received at No Stress. Blame Paul and Akeem for all of the negative feedback that they are receiving, even though they are the ones refusing to focus on the quality of customer service that they are offering. Then to go out of your way, spend time and money to register a name. And you see, a business name registration is not cheap because not only do you have their business registration name, you have to pay for a nuance report. So Cody Drysdale went and paid $75 or $78 for a nuance report to present to government of New Brunswick or Service New Brunswick and tell them nobody owns this name legally yet, so I'm going to take them. And then you have all these white people coming in saying, well, maybe he should have registered the name. Well, maybe if we weren't dealing with racist assholes, it wouldn't be a problem. Because what most listeners should be aware of is that Akeem and Paul started Three Kings fairly recently. And in New Brunswick, you don't have to register your business or its name until you reach a minimum of $30,000 in profit. And so, anyway, it mind boggles me. So then this whole thing that Cody goes on to do is, instead of owning up to what he is doing, he goes around on this campaign saying, I never was racist. Not y'all, you Black people are pulling the race card. Shame on you, Black people, for pulling the race card. But then Mr. Cody Drysdale and his fiance go one step further, along with some other business moving company named, I don't remember what their name is, but the owner's name is Rick and his wife, Amanda. They go one step further and they start posting things publicly. And you see, like most, Black men in our country, Paul has a history with stop and frisk. And like I've said to my son, when my son told me, Mommy, criminals are bad guys, right? For those of you who don't know, I live near a penitentiary. I drive my son to school. He sees the penitentiary. He says, Mommy, that's where the bad guys go, don't they? And I pulled over on the side of the road to have a very frank discussion with my 5-year-old. And I told him, Zebra, no, that is not where bad people go. It's not where bad guys go. That's where people who make mistakes and can't afford to fix them, financially can't afford to fix them, go. Or can't afford to make them disappear, go. But that's not where the bad guys are. Most of us have some sort of a infraction or criminal mistake in our past. And we all know very much that that is calculated. And the proof is of its, the proof to prove that it's intentional is the fact that we have marijuana dispensaries all over the country, government run. And yet we still have plenty of men of color, more specifically in this case, majorly Black men serving time for marijuana. So Corey Drysdale and his thugs decide to launch a campaign online trying to paint Paul Sumbu as a drug trafficker. Which is funny because there's a lot of rumors about Cody's side businesses, all right? Now, I'm not here to say it's true or not true. I'm just saying that I've heard of those rumors. And I think it's, not cool to make rumors like that about someone who was working for a living. So Corey, those rumors about you, if they are rumors, are not cool. But the fact that you think, Cody, sorry, not Corey. Cody, the fact that you think it's appropriate to go and make those rumors about a Black man and then continue to say the argument that you are not racist, knowing damn well the Hollywood and historic portrayal of Black men being that they are dangerous drug thugs who also abuse women. Now, dear Paul and Akeem, I want to take a moment and praise the two of you. Paul Sumbu and Akeem White have been nothing but all class in this situation. They have been so classy, so patient, so kind, although this has brought tremendous turmoil, not just to themselves, not just to their businesses, but to their wives and children. I have seen their families cry out of fear. And it's not fair. But you know what, Monctonians, specifically Monctonians, I'm speaking to you today. Y'all stepped up. Y'all stepped up, and thank you. Because when this shit went down 5 years ago to my husband and I, and 7 years ago to my husband and I, we were not so fortunate as to get the public support that Akeem and Paul have received today. And for those of you who say this is an attack on a business, it is not an attack on a business. Because when my business was attacked with my husband, when our business was attacked, our 15-year-old daughter at the time was in high school and getting harassed by her peers. And then again, at 16, 17, it happened again. And I was home postpartum the second time with a brand new baby, dealing with some mad, made up stupidity because I'm an angry brown woman. Listen, people, you have to take accountability. You have to take accountability for what you are doing consciously, but more importantly, what you have been subconsciously programmed to do. If you don't want people to think you're stupid or a machine, you should act like a human being. Because human beings step up and take accountability. At the end, Corey Drysdale sent a message to Paul saying, listen, man, y'all need to back off. Y'all need to stop harassing me. Y'all need to get people to back off. You need to get people to back off, is what Cody said to Paul, as if it's Paul's fault. And in the same breath, he says, I'm not racist. I'm going to give you back your name. I'm going to unregister and you can have it back. Now that's an admission of guilt, saying you can have your name back. And then he continues to say, but I'm not racist and don't make this about race. So Cody, you're not upset about what you did. You have no intention to change your behavior. You simply just don't like the fact that you were called out and caught. Am I afraid of, getting in trouble for saying this publicly? No, I'm not anymore. Because you know what? Well, Jessica was home by herself with the babies, and that's Paul's wife. While I was talking to her, while we were speaking to her to make sure she was okay, she felt that fear. She felt that fear that all racialized people feel. But the thing is, she was a white woman. Now, she is a religious minority, or was a religious minority, and has experienced, marginalization growing up because of being a religious minority. So she's had a taste of that marginalized racialization. But to now experience it, not only as the wife of a Black man, but as the mother of 2 Black children, who is now home caring for her children while her husband is out working. And it was quite late at night. She got up because her dog was barking, and she looked out the door, and there was someone driving really, really slow by her house. And she could not contain the fear. It is hard. It is hard to go through this. You see, people, when you are racist, you are not racist. You are destructive. You are destructive. You are creating fear. You are creating pain. To people who did nothing wrong but simply be born in an image that you don't like, for whatever reason, whether it's jealousy, whether it's lack of understanding. I don't care what your excuses are, because they are excuses. They are not reasons. They are excuses. And I refuse to validate them as reasons. The same way I refuse to validate your petty nonsense that you're not racist because your intention was not racist. If it wasn't racist, you would have fought fair, Cody. You would have worked harder on your business. You would have made that customer that you gave a horrible experience to, who had to go to find Akeem and Paul in the first place, you would have fixed things with her. Not chased after Paul and Akeem for cleaning up the mess you made and offering good customer service without even knowing that it was you. And they did it at a financial loss to themselves. A few white allies messaged me and said, it's 2021. What the hell is wrong with people? Do you know what's wrong with people? Is until you admit your guilt, until you admit that what you did is wrong, you can't change or fix that. Be kind to each other. Support one another. But most of all, you guys better stand up for each other. Rest in peace, Joyce Echaquan. We will continue to fight this battle for you and for your family.